Hello, welcome to 5-Minute Maths. Today we'll be going over geometric sequences. So what is a geometric sequence? So in math, a geometric sequence, or a geometric progression, is a sequence of numbers where each term after the first term is found by multiplying or dividing the previous term by a fixed, non-zero number called the common ratio. This common ratio, can be either multiplying or dividing. It doesn't have to be 1, and just keep that in mind. An example of this, the sequence 2, 6, 18, 54, and so on, is a geometric progression with a ratio of 3. So the formula for geometric sequences. The formula for geometric sequences is an equals to a1 times r to the power of n minus 1, where an is an unknown term, a1 is the first term, and r is the common ratio. To use this formula, simply replace n with the number of the term they desire to find. For example, if the problem requires you to find a 13th term, then simply replace n with 13. So now I'm going to give you guys some examples of geometric sequences, so you can familiarize yourself with these sequences and also just understand how they actually work. So I'm just going to write down a sequence here. We'll have 2, 4, 8, 16, and so on. So according to our formula, we need to first find the first term. So our first term is obviously 2. So now we need to find the common ratio, r. So if you look at our sequence here, we're multiplying by 2 every single time. You see, we're multiplying by 2 to get from 2 to get to 4. We're multiplying 4 by 2 to get to 8. And we're multiplying by 2 to get to 16. So we know our common ratio, or r, has to be 2. So if we put this into formula form, we just have, my color, we're just going to have a n equals 2. Our first term, 2, times our common ratio, which is 2 to the n minus 1. So as one type is increasing or just multiplying. So I'm going to show another type of geometric sequences is where you're dividing or you're going down pretty much. So in this case, let's just start the same term. Let's just start with 2 again. So we have 2. But now, let's say I want to divide by 2 every single time. So I'm going to have 1, 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, and so on. So now, our first term is still 2. But now, to get from one term to another, we're dividing by 2 this time. Not multiplying, we're dividing by 2. So how do we write this in formula form? So we can have a n equals to 2. Same thing, because we have the same first term. But now, there's 2 possible ways to write this. So we can either write this as times 1/2 to the n minus 1, because if you take from this perspective, you can just say we're simply multiplying by 1/2 every time to get from one term to the next. See, we're multiply 2 by 1/2 to get to 1. We multiply 1 by 1/2 to get to 1/2, and so on. But another way you can write this, for example, let's erase this. Another way you can write this is, you can write an equals to 2, so same thing, first term, right? But now you can say divided by 2 to the n minus 1. Because from now you can say, oh, so I have 2, right? I divide by 2 to get to 1. Now I divide 1 by 2 to get to 1/2, and so on. So, for when you're dividing or going down, getting smaller and smaller, there's 2 possible ways to write it. Both are correct. Not one is wrong. Okay. So now let's move on to practice problems, since you're now familiar with geometric sequences. Now let's do some practice problems. Okay, so our first practice problem is we are given the formula an equals to 4 times 3 to the n minus 1 power. And we want to find the 6th term. Okay, so the first way we can approach this is just simply replace n with 6. Okay, so let's do that right now. So we have a 6th equals to 4 times 3 to the 6 minus 1 power. Okay, so now simplify. So we know 6 minus 1 is 5, right? So we can say a6 equals to 4 times 3 to the 5th. Now we know 3 to the 5th is 243, right? So let me erase everything here. So since we know 3 to the 5th is 243, all you need to do is a to the 6th equals to 4 times 243. Now all you need to do is simply multiply 4 and 243. So our final answer is a 6th equals to 972. So this is our answer right here. This is the 6th term. Okay, so now let's go to the next problem. Okay, so our next problem is, we are given the sequence 38, 19, 19 halves, and 19 quarters. So we want to find the formula for this sequence. So we can first write the basics, right? So we know let me get my pen right here. So we know n equals to the first term. And we see the first term right here. It's 38, right? So we write 38. Now, what is the common ratio? Well, when looking at this, you can see from 38 to 19 to 19 halves and 19 quarters. We can see every time is dividing by 2. So you can write this as 38 times 1 half, or you can also write divided by 2. It doesn't really matter. And we want to put n to the first power. Don't forget to put -1, because remember, the first term, 38, nothing is done to it. We start with 38, or the first term. So then we get this formula for the sequence. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I hope guys enjoyed. If you didn't and didn't find it helpful, please feel free to roast us in the comments, and please share, like, and subscribe.